Hello everyone. Before we start today's video, if you could all do me a solid and lightly tap the like button, perhaps share the video about and leave a comment. If you are not subscribed, subscribe as well. It would greatly help this channel. Thank you very much. Hello everyone, welcome back to a Megon 2 Electric Boogaloo. Today we are going to talk about how a TV show host, formerly an actor, not really much of one though to be honest, a little bit funny on, well, good days, let's call it that, in the right company perhaps, has well and truly destroyed his own reputation and is because of that now facing a form of karma for it. I'm not overly fond of that word, I don't know why, but in the grand scheme of what is going on, it is apt. And therefore we are going to use it going forward. This karmic justice he is being introduced to is courtesy of his own rather shitty behaviour, because as it turns out, James Corden, like everyone else, is very different in front of a camera to how they are away from it. Everything about what they do, let's say, in front of others is put on, but the moment the attention is no longer on them, they want to either create attention where attention does not need to exist, and it is in and of itself quite negative, or they try to find a way to not fit in, which in turn means people know of them because of negative reaction. And as that is all manufactured by the person who isn't getting the attention, who is in and of itself the supreme narcissist of it all, it creates more attention for them to feed off. Now in the case of James Corden, he's done a very good job over the years burying all that negativity in favour of putting on a face. Now we needed someone to replace David Walliams' more eccentric mannerisms. Unfortunately for us in the United Kingdom, James Corden apparently became the replacement. But then he landed one of the most high-paying gigs of his life, and sodded off to America. Thank you America for taking him from us. For those who don't know who he is, he rose to fame on Gavin and Stacey. He and Matthew Horn were seen as the future of comedy duos, akin to that of Morecambe and Wise. But understandably, as time went by, their careers just went in different directions. Part of me thinks it might have been because of the absolute travesty called Lesbian Vampire Killers, a comedy horror film, two words that you can't really associate with the word film in this context. Gavin and Stacey though really put him on the map because of the type of acting that was involved. Then you realise with hindsight, actually, he was just being himself. Really was just being himself. Yeah, not much creativity went into that. And we know it wasn't acting in the slightest, but we also know how much of a tosser he is because everyone's seen that award show video of him and Sir Patrick Stewart. There aren't many people who have the balls to do that to Sir Patrick Stewart and act like a complete and utter dickhead, but James Corden has no shame and is more than happy to do it. Either because he thinks he's being shown up or because he thinks he needs to be centre of attention, which defeated the point of the award show itself, which is why Patrick Stewart reprimanded him and James decided to be an even bigger dickhead about it. Now to us in the United Kingdom, most of us would just call this chavvy behaviour, and it makes some sense to be honest, because it does suit that mentality and the way he speaks is very similar, and cliché for somebody who was raised in Buckinghamshire, so basically just above Greater London. It is in the United Kingdom considered traditional for those that come from very posh areas to have kids and those kids to rebel against the parents by acting like complete and utter twats. James Corden is no exception to this. There are 3 videos I'm going to link down below. All 3 of them cover how James Corden has either destroyed his reputation, his top 10 worst moments, or he is simply trash. Each one does a rather good job at explaining adequately how he is a terrible person. All 3 channels have well over 1 million subscribers. So at least you can say me with my 4K sub channel, hello everyone, can be considered a barnacle on their ships. I'm okay with this. I need attention. Smash like and sub. I want another play button, okay? James Corden's recent actions caught the eye of a restaurateur because it happened at his establishments and led to him, James Corden, being banned from all that person's restaurants. And we're going to go through both instances because all of this has been covered via Instagram via the person in question, a man called Keith McNally. And this all took place in New York, so naturally it's going to seem like a non-issue, but James has to make it into an issue and then act like a dick afterwards, because it is his modus operandum. So to incident 1, we go to Keith McNally NYC Instagram page. James Corden is a hugely gifted comedian, but a tiny cretin of a man, and the most abusive customer to my Balthazar server since the restaurant opened 25 years ago. I don't often 86 a customer. Today, I 86'd Corden. It did not make me laugh. Here are 2 examples of the funny man's treatment of my staff. To 86 somebody is to ban them. To be 86'd is thought to have originated at a Greenwich Village speakeasy bar Chumley's on 86 Bedford Street, which had no address on the door, with guests 86ing themselves from the premises if there was any trouble. Would you look at that, we all learnt something today. Manager's report number 1. In June, James Corden was here on table 61, brackets. Although this is diabolical, it happens very occasionally in all restaurants, end brackets. After eating his main course, Corden showed the hair to Balthazar manager G, who was very apologetic. Corden then was extremely nasty to the manager and said, "Get us another round of drinks this second and also take care of all our drinks so far. This way, I write any nasty in your reviews in Yelp or anything like that." By the way, that sounds very boogers and cum South Park, don't you think? Which is what you should be served for being such a dick. While even the owner agrees, it is unacceptable. It does not happen often, and it is not as much of a deal as you think it is. An apology was offered, and you in turn tried to treat it like negotiations. Ooh, but this one strand, this one follicle, is enough for me to deserve a whole bottle of your finest champagne. Get me a Balthazar. Manager's report number 2. James Corden was at Balthazar with his wife on October the 9th for brunch. He asked for a table outside. Maître Ali Walters took the party to table 301. Mr. Corden's wife ordered an egg yolk omelette with Gruyere cheese and salad. A few minutes after they received the food, James called their server MK and told her there was a little bit of egg white mixed with the egg yolk. The server informed the floor manager G. The kitchen remade the dish, but unfortunately sent it with home fries instead of salad. That is when James decided to begin yelling like crazy to the server. "You can't do your job. You can't do your job. Maybe I should go into the kitchen and cook the omelette myself." The server was very apologetic and brought G over to the table. He returned the dish, and after that everything was fine. He gave them promo champagne glasses to smooth things out. G, the manager, said that Corden was pleasant to him but nasty to the server. MK, the server, was very shaken, but professional that she is, continued to finish her shift. First of all, James, it is not the fault of the server that your order was incorrect. Bear in mind here, the mix-up was the egg originally. They offered you an apology, you took it. You did not have to shout at the server, who at that point deserved the right to put boogers and cum in your meal. Later on, Keith McNally put out another post. James Corden just called me and apologized profusely. Having effed up myself more than most people, I strongly believe in second chances. So if James Corden lets me host his late show for 9 months, I'll immediately rescind his ban from Balthazar. No, of course not. But anyone magnanimous enough to apologize to a deadbeat layabout like me and my staff doesn't deserve to be banned from anywhere, especially Balthazar. So come back to the 5 and dime, Jimmy Corden, all is forgiven. Because James had, said that he would address this on the Late Show, but also didn't believe he had done anything wrong. One last post though. Storm in a restaurant teacup. I've no wish to kick a dead man when he's down, especially one who's worth $100 million. But when James Corden said in yesterday's New York Times that he hadn't done anything wrong on any level, was he joking? Or was he denying being abusive to my servers? Whatever Corden meant, his implication was clear. He didn't do it. Although I didn't witness the incident, lots of my restaurant's floor staff did. They had nothing to gain by lying, Corden did. I wish James would live up to his almighty initials and come clean. If the supremely talented actor wants to retrieve the respect he had from all of his fans, all 4 of them, before his incident, then he should at least admit he did wrong. If he goes one step further and apologizes to the 2 servers he insulted, I'll let him eat for free at Balthazar for the next 10 years. If I apologize for him, can I have a free omelette? But not just a, only yolk one, just 3 egg omelette in a sandwich, please? Because I really like omelette, okay? Now, because this tickled me to no end, I thought I'd end with a consequence, one that I doubt will ever affect James Corden unless he runs out of money, which could happen. You never know, if he can't find work and he's desperate for attention, he may well just start spending it like Floyd Mayweather, but without any money coming in to match it. Budget airline Ryanair have recently announced they banned James Corden from their flights. They did this via Twitter, and I will admit, Ryanair on Twitter is one of the funniest flight accounts around. I don't care for Ryanair because of their budget rules and how they manage to fleece customers for everything. But the memes that have spilled out because of this one tweet is fantastic. Justin Wang, I'm sure many of you have heard of him, had tweeted out that James Corden and Kanye West together are the most cancelled men in America, and then said, alright, being friends with James Corden is where I finally drawn the line. Others joking, James Corden has been banned from the general Yorkshire area, nowhere specific. And a third, James Corden might be a lot of things, but I draw the line at him being labelled a comedian. Well done, James, you've fueled the internet. The bountiful harvest that comes from your chins is something scrumptious. Thank you.